Well, welcome to another adventure.
Why are you laughing already, Jim?
No. Let the fuckery commence.
Let it start now. Welcome to White Noise, or three intuitives or psychics walk into a bar, and we still got to get that going.
Not sure. Yeah.
Dot, 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 dot.
Yeah, exactly. And we got this going. And oh, I get to watch this a little bit more, so that's going to be fun. I'm going to ignore myself right now. But how are you two doing?
I am well.
Are you?
It's been a weird week, but I'm well.
Yeah. And my friend Miranda, how are you?
Yeah, I'd say so. It's a full moon in Scorpio today, and I have a moon in Scorpio, so I'm very familiar with this dense energy. It's kind of what I live in. So kind of like I had a good day. And the week, but it is a bit weird. And Linda and I talked about this before too. It kind of feels like there's like this surreal energy, and it's just strange. And I don't know if it's like the culmination of eclipse season and retrograde, and April's had a lot of transits, and there's still a lot more to come this
Yeah.
week. We're not really out of it yet, but this full moon ends eclipse season energy technically. And this full moon was like a connection between November 13th was the new moon in Scorpio. So that 6 month cycle is coming to a close. But it is kind of like there's like this heaviness almost too. You can feel it, right?
It's like surreal, like time is off. It feels like time is off. It doesn't feel like it's long days or they're short, or it's just time doesn't feel right.
Doesn't. And I can be working with some clients like we all do here, and the time goes by so quickly, and we seems like we only got through one topic.
Yeah.
It's insane. Well,
Yeah.
that's kind of this retrograde thing, that it does it to everybody, and no one is satisfied, by the way. I don't think that I can speak on my side and how people react. You can give them the best information in the world right now, and they're just going to go, eh, eh. And I'm going, listen, you're just going to win $1 million. No, not happening. But
It's sticky energy, and like April's kind of a frozen time in a lot of ways, right? And so then May we're going through that thaw, and things will start to move again. Like April 25th, this Thursday ends retrograde, but then we go into a bit of a shadow for a couple weeks. So, I think that we'll realize more coming into May.
agreed. But we were talking earlier, or I'd like you to talk a little bit more about the Scorpio moon. But I also want to say that when we work on ourselves, and Mercury retrograde is trying to fight us back on everything, and Linda
Yeah.
brought this up too. We're fighting ourselves, let alone everybody else that is trying to heal. There have
Right.
been the most amount of dark shadow entities that have been out in 55 years for me. This has been the most dark energy everywhere.
It's funny. I wonder if people notice that, like, because we would most people would dismiss it if they see like a something and you think there's something over there, they dismiss it, but it's actually 99 times out of 100, it's real.
It is. And
It's real. But right now it's in the public. It's more like it's when you're in the shopping mall, it's out in the public.
the way I look at it, the veil is off,
Yeah.
and they're all showing up now. And it is making a lot of intuitives who think, oh, I can work on this and I can help you here. They come in as fast as they show up, and they leave just as fast, but they leave something destructive behind at times. And it's a dark energy, or to make you feel insecure or unhappy, or just plain old miserable. And a lot of that is happening. This whole month was crazy, and now that we're in Taurus, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. It really is. Like,
You think it's going to be more difficult? Oh, tell me more what you think here. Oh boy.
well, the way that Taurus works, and the way that they feel engaged in everything that they're doing. They feel very, very aware of themselves. They know that they deserve everything that they work for, but they never seem to be satisfied in their own birth month. It's only after that month. So Taurus is everywhere, sort of gets stressed out about the whole thing. And, it was just someone's birthday too, by the way.
It was a very special birthday.
Yeah.
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 We all wanted to ask her age, but then she gave me the finger fickle award. I just said,
No, no thanks.
no, thank you.
I would just want to say that, okay, we know, like, we love our Taurus peeps.
Yeah,
But we do know that Taurus is a fixed sign, much like Scorpio. I would say that Venus is moving from Aries into Taurus, which is a good thing because it's where it's supposed to be, or it's most harmonious there. So I do think even though we're moving into Taurus season and there's a bit of that, that more that fixed earth energy, it'll be softened.
It's a better life cycle. It's a love cycle story. Absolutely.
Right.
Go with
Yeah,
that.
I think so. But
Yeah.
I would say that just with this moon, just going back to it for just 1 second, during this moon, Venus joined Chiron in Aries.
Yeah.
The sun squared Pluto in Aquarius, and the moon falls into the south node, which means that we're shedding, right? We're shedding what's not, again, serving us and like really ready to let go, because Scorpio puts you into the underworld of like the shadow parts of ourselves. And we have no choice but to face our fears or whatever's coming up and go, like, I'm not going to hold on to this anymore because it's not serving me and it's not allowing me to move forward in the new timeline where I'm supposed to go. So this is the moon to let it go.
And
It's
everyone's been
interesting
waiting.
because I've seen, like, sorry, Jim, like it just even today, like I saw so many people with addiction and they're willing to let it go. It's the time where this is the time where we do our work. This is
Yeah.
the time where I want to live or not have this monkey on my back anymore. So it's interesting to see. It's the time where people are not going to keep continuing the cycle. The cycle is done.
And
Which
it's
is-
just shifting. Oh, I'm sorry, Jim. I'm going to
go
talk too
ahead.
much tonight. I just say it's the small little patterns that we shift that make the big difference. So it's just like changing one pattern in our life. And this moon can just like show us where our patterns are kind of fixed, but
Right.
then where we need to work to change small little patterns that will actually add up and make big changes in our life.
Because we're letting go and we are shedding like we should be. And again, people I sometimes they get mad at me sometimes, or they don't like the idea of the bluntness that I can come out with. But this could be with family as well that creates a disconnect for now. And you might have to leave each other for a couple of weeks and then come back and just say, hey, I've calmed down. I'm sorry. Siblings are the worst to each other so many times, right? They know our weaknesses and they know our strengths, so they know how to play that game. And this whole retrograde, I have never seen more family members fighting and trying to be someone to say, enough's enough now. Don't do that. Just go for a walk, get away, come back when you feel refreshed. But a lot of people don't realize that because they don't pay attention to astrology, right?
So important to know your chart if you can, because the more that you understand yourself and understand what the influences or where you're being pressurized, it kind of is like a roadmap a little bit. It's kind of like checking the weather. You're checking the weather and you bring an umbrella. It's the same thing to understand where the influences are going to happen. And I think like when I started paying attention to it, it really started shifting my perception of myself and also what's going on. It's a big difference.
And just before we get to some, because we have to talk about Miss A, right? A little bit in a second, the photo that I sent to all of us.
Okay.
Right.
In a second. But I wanted to say something about the pink moon, okay? Scorpio moon. And I wrote it very strong. And it's everyone has an opportunity, like you said, to have more intimate relationships of yourself and of others. But if you're not confronting your demons, the ones that have been sitting with you since your inner child and whoever you are, that will sit with you again for the rest of 2024 if you don't start shedding this crap, because it's just going to linger. And then you're going to say, well, that didn't work. It's because you didn't work on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's so smart, Jim, that you said that, because if you utilize the energy of the moon and like what's going on, utilize and allow it to work with you, for you, it can really be, it can change. But if there's resistance and there's constant pushback, then you're right. Like nothing changes when you don't change it, right?
And yes, the moon does bring out people with mental health issues, and it just amplifies that. But that's not always the case, because sometimes they get enough strength to be able to say, I'm not worried about myself this month, or this full moon is not going to affect me. And maybe that's why this moon is helping a lot more people than others. And I checked with 2 health professionals that work in in the US, two different states. And they told me that this full moon that they keep an eye on does not affect the hospital situation as much as the other moons.
Interesting.
Because
we've also had, sorry, Jim.
no, go ahead.
Go ahead, finish your point, please.
My point is that it's allowing us to work with it, and we're going to stay with it. And I think those are going to be very helpful for so many people right now. Just accept it.
Yeah, exactly. With it, so we've also had Scorpio in the eclipse cycle for the last couple of years, and so this full moon is not the same intensity of the Scorpio. Like those who have that energy, those placements feel like they've been through it, and I also feel like I've been through it, so I know the difference. So this is actually a little refreshing to be able to sit in the energy. I almost felt like you can recognize the energy, but it wasn't as intense, but still almost that final, like you have an opportunity to move through, like you said. So use it to your advantage. And like the energy will be here for the next few days too. Right.
And it'll be here right through until the end of the balance of Mercury retrograde. Right. That moon sequence just sits there and helps us. So
right.
It's almost like making us nest to look what we need to get done.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
It'd be fantastic. Just make sure that if we have desires within this full moon sequence, to write them down and make an intent or manifest them. This will work.
Good.
Yeah, the affirmations are really big right now. The other thing I want to say is we have something that I remember I was talking about Mars conjunct Neptune this week. That's just something on the side note, because it's another transit to pay attention to, because whatever you're drinking or medicine or any substances, your body's going to be extra sensitive. So just be really cautious. Because I always think it's so interesting with Neptune. You see that there's a lot more rain, fog when you see these transits, but from a physical perspective, we don't always pay attention to what's going on. Like we would be more inclined to get sick during some of these transits. And so this is like sensitivity to substance, just to be aware.
Agreed. Let's move on.
Okay.
We should have music, Paula, sometime, just like a music
What kind of music?
You want me to sing or something?
Yeah. Please.
There you go.
Okay. Thank you, Paula. I was requested by one of my clients, and I asked her for her photo, and I gave a little bit of a background, but not enough to have you make up your own minds. But Linda, you were very much on track, and definitely on track, Miranda, on some of the things that you talked about with Miss A, Can you give some input first, Linda? And then I'd like...
So can we talk about what the situation is? Like a relationship?
Her question.
Yes.
Her question, she feels like she's been hexed or something in relationships. And every relationship that has come on board has been very unfulfilling, very, very narcissistic people that she ended up being with, but in a sense that she knew that right away and she stepped away from it. She is a health professional. She's not somebody who doesn't know reality. So she's very much in there, but this also, she's not intuitive, but she's very sensitive to everything.
She's an empath.
But she needs to work on some of that. So
I just feel like be careful what words you use too, because if you say you're hexed, then you're creating that reality, right? So I don't believe there's a hex on her, Miss A. I just feel like it's hard, like any woman, it's hard to love yourself. And we go back to this almost every single time, but talking about how you love yourself unconditionally. And I feel like when you love yourself enough, then you won't put up with that kind of behavior, because you have boundaries and you know what you deserve. And I feel like I know this person, she's so sensitive, she's beautiful inside and out. And I don't think she understands her value. I feel like that she doesn't think she deserves that. So she thinks she has to settle for the chump change or the poor behavior. But this woman, she's so beautiful. Like she could have anybody's lucky to be with her and not the other way around. So I just need her to step into her power and understand how amazing she is, because she's beautiful. But her heart, like all I can see when I looked at her picture was this beautiful heart. She has all the love in the world to give, and she hasn't found the right person to accept it. So it's always one-sided, out of balance up here, like, and she's here. So we need to get equal love. That's what we need.
That's amazing. And I know she's smiling from head to toe on this one. So that's going to be really, really good. I like that because there's a lot of repeat, but a better way of saying it than I do. So thank
Oh,
you.
well, she just got to keep her chin up and stop talking about a hex because there isn't one. She just needs to know that she shines in the world like a diamond, like beautiful.
And I pick up August for a permanent relationship to come in. That's what
I'd say that.
August is a super karmic month, so whatever happens in August is definitely
a good
intentional. Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Do you have anything to add on that, Miss Miranda?
I would just say this, sometimes we get in these cycles where we recreate patterns because we didn't, from an inner child perspective, we didn't heal what we, that sense of self-love and that value. So we attract energetically, or our nervous system is familiar with that. So this moon would be very good for just reflecting on those inner patterns as to why in our nervous system it becomes familiar in those cycles when we meet those people, if it's an empath, narcissistic, whatever situation it could be. But I would also say, and I always say this, but I'll always say it. So when your gut is off, your anxiety is heightened all the time. So watch for food sensitivities. Take your B complex because your brain needs that extra little bit of a boost, especially if there's been a ton of stress, and try to just find that, like when we're under anxiety, it strips us of so many key nutrients, including the B vitamins. That's why I could say that most people are deficient in Bs, and most people digestively could improve their status so that they can have a healthier mindset as well. Because sometimes it's just a loop that we get into.
Yep.
Miranda, I didn't tell you that she was a runner as well, right? And she,
oh wow, okay.
Some of her, she tries to reduce that stress through running, and she does do that, but I don't know if it's completely working for her either.
I think she's a bit deficient in certain things, like gluten she should remove. She should have more greens, and vitamin C. It's like she's been stripped, like her immune system's stripped because of the anxiety, like the stress that she's been under. So just supporting them. She's also pushing her cortisol up because she's running so much. Then that's a bit of a, imbalance. And then again, when we're deficient in nutrients, it actually can make us more anxious, which can make us attract more situations where it's a cycle. So going back to the body and remembering with the nervous system, trying to keep that regulated is so key.
So we're going to do this, and thank you so much. And we're going to look at that. Was pretty good, that one. Here's something new that we can do. I get to look at all of this. Hey, Carlos, Sandy, Mario, Carmela, Christine Johnson has a question. Darlene Fry, Carmela again. We have a lot of people on here. Petra, hi, how are you? We have a lot of people. So thank you for joining us tonight, by the way. We love this.
And I just wish my friend a happy birthday too.
Yes.
My friend Darlene Fry, it was her birthday on Friday. So I just want to wish her a happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Darlene, happy birthday to you. Hang on a second. Let's I'm gonna do this. Hang on.
That's amazing. Happy birthday, Darlene.
Happy birthday.
Amazing.
Miss Paula Bailey.
Yes,
Have we got anybody that is ready to come on right now?
we do. We have one person in the waiting room.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, Kiara.
Who is it?
Kiara.
Karen. Okay. I don't know that person. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I probably do. Oh yes, I do. Sorry.
Matthew.
Now I know who it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's got an amazing smile and maybe some gray hair, and she's pregnant.
Oh.
She's happy.
Do you want me to bring her in now?
I'm gonna bring her in now. And
Okay.
she has an amazing husband.
Here we go.
Three beautiful boys. And there's a lot going on for them right now. And as you two might know, this is Ria's sister. As soon as she figures
cool.
out
That's
how
great.
to tell her to well, I can't do it anymore, Paula, because you have to tell her
I'm
to.
doing it.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
See how she bossed me there? It's almost like Miranda doing something to me all the time.
Thank you, Paula.
Anything for a friend.
Yeah.
Love it.
Oh, now we've got Michael here too.
Okay, cool.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Hey guys.
Good.
So, how are
What's
you?
your question?
So this was initially supposed to be for my husband, but he's KO'd.
Is he
He's
works
joining.
Who's joining? Sorry?
Michael?
Nope.
No, my husband Matthew, he's sitting right beside me. It was
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay,
yeah,
I'm
he
my
wanted the
bad.
reading, but
Okay.
he yeah, he
Got-
fell asleep.
Okay.
I would just take his hand and get a bottle of hot water and just put his hand in the,
See how
That would
works
wake him
out
up.
for you.
you know, just never know.
So I have a question about it's about my husband because like he fell asleep anyways. Anyways, it was supposed to be about him. So I want to ask a question about his business if you guys see or are getting any messages about his business.
Is he building it?
So the business is like established. He's been open, if I'm not mistaken, for I want to say 5 going on 6 years. But yeah, he's kind of like deliberating like expansion.
Because I can feel it can build. Now, has he got a couple offers in on people who want to buy the business, or he's got two partners?
No, he doesn't have 2 partners. It's like it's just him. He has been not necessarily offered to like buy the business, but for him to like go in on another company.
Okay, because I can see two opportunities that way where he's not sure what he wants to do. I think he really wants to focus on what he's building as opposed to
Yes.
doing out stuff. It's a good opportunity, yes, but it's not at the time right now, right?
Yeah.
I feel like, and he worries about that stuff. He gets anxious and he thinks all dollar, dollar, dollar. Like I feel like all he does is worry about his providing for his family. He's pretty funny, your husband. He's a smart ass. I like his energy. He
Yes,
makes
he
me laugh.
totally is a smart ass.
He totally is a smart ass, but he's funny. Like, and but he does that when he's nervous too. Like he's a smart ass. But oh my God, I feel like does he have to like I hate to say it, but does he have to take a loan or borrow money to go further? Like does he have to get investors or is he just going to he's
Well, I mean, I think I, not for like what he's looking to do right now, but I mean, I think if something like big enough landed on his lap, then
because I feel like
But
he's
you
going to
have
have
to.
to go up. Like I just feel like it's going to get to a point where it's going to go being like a bigger and he's going to have to hire more people if that's the case. But he's really excited about it. Like I feel like he's got the right mindset, like entrepreneurial. So he sees here in the end game. So he's already got the biggest possibility in the company that he could possibly get, which I love.
Yeah.
So he's gonna do well because he already sees it, right? He already sees it.
Yeah.
He's got to stop sweating the small stuff. Like he worries because he's a perfectionist. He worries about the small details and then he forgets the bigger picture, but he's always got to keep his eye on the big picture. Does that make sense? He's really smart, but he's annoying too, as he focuses on the little details. Sorry, he's gonna
No,
say,
I know him, so this
Oh.
is good for me. Like
is he gonna give me the finger, like double finger? He's gonna go F you, Linda.
He's gonna wake up and be like,
It's okay. I take that shit. It's okay.
I'm just joking.
It's okay. I take it. It's
No,
fine.
you got that bang on though. He's incredibly smart, but my God,
It's so
he's
annoying.
annoying about some things.
Does he leave crumbs
have
in the
a-
kitchen too? Sorry.
Sorry.
Just 1 second. Does he leave crumbs in the kitchen, like on the counter, a mess when he eats?
No, he actually hates that.
Okay, so that's his thing. He hates it, so he's cleaning it up, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's a stupid little a non-detail. You guys go ahead. Oh,
I was just gonna say everything that I just pulled in the cards supports that. And it's like at the base of the deck is the strength in reverse. So it's like just having to tame the inner beast of like the little things like you mentioned. But the Wheel of Fortune came up next to the Empress, and you said you're pregnant. You're pregnant.
I am pregnant. Yeah, with our 4th.
wow.
Yeah. So like, congratulations. That's amazing.
Congrats.
I think there's like maybe more of the fear of not being successful, or the fear of it is like getting in the way because
He has
like
the pressure of family and supporting family. He's a provider.
Right.
That's what it is.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it shows that like that wheel is moving, like it's aligned. There's alignment happening for sure.
Okay.
I see.
I
Tell him to
would be-
calm down. Sorry.
no, don't worry. No, I want to make fun of Matt whenever I get a chance, but um, him and I do have to talk, and maybe because Joe wants to go for wings and beer, maybe I'll just go for a water and maybe some salad. Frig.
The
You
keeper
know.
over here.
Protein on top or something, Jim.
And maybe
Yeah,
we
you guys should set it up.
Yeah, we will. We'll do it. Done. Okay, perfect. Do you have any questions for you before we say we love you?
For me specifically, yeah, about like not like my diet, but like my like bowel situation.
Right?
Um,
The good,
I mean,
bad,
like with pregnancy, like I know that everything slows down. Like it's not my first
Yeah.
rodeo, so like I'm very familiar with that. But prior to getting pregnant, I was having like some really not so good situations with
So
like
yeah. Sorry, continue.
no, it was just like it would be like random and like sporadic, but like when it would happen to me, like the pain was like debilitating, and it would be like it was like nothing normal.
It feels like your organs, like your bowels were seizing to cause like tremendous pain. Does that make sense?
That's exactly what it
Like
felt like,
it's
to
like
be
you're
honest.
Spastic.
seizing.
It's like a spastic colon,
Yeah,
almost spastic,
That's a
right?
good way to talk.
It happens randomly. It hasn't happened since I've been pregnant, but like it I mean like the symptoms that I have are almost like symptoms of Crohn's disease or something like that, and I don't know if I have anything like that.
No,
So
you don't.
So
You-
I don't think you have Crohn's.
I don't think so either.
I think you have Candida. And I think that you have like, I think it's during pregnancy, everything slows down, as you mentioned. So digestion, and you might actually get a bit of a reset afterwards. But what I would do is, I don't know if you're having a hard time breaking down fats. Like, do you tend to like, I mean, with pregnancy, everything, again, digestively, you're slowed
Yeah.
down. But before that, were you having a hard time breaking down fats? Like, did you find that you had like indigestion a lot, or like your gallbladder came up, and stress and Candida and gluten-free? Like, I don't know if you eat gluten or not, but
I
that can
definitely eat gluten. I ate a lot of crap, I'll be honest. I also eat like healthy stuff too, though. Like I still like I'm very balanced, guys. Like I'll eat my junk, but like I also eat like a lot of veggies and like healthier foods as well. Like I don't discriminate against food. I eat everything. So it's just and it's not necessarily like, let's say like I had like a greasy pizza or like a greasy burger and then something like that would happen to me. It could be like I had like veggies for dinner
Yeah.
and
Well, the thing
it would
is,
happen to me.
once you have inflammation, okay, it's really hard to determine what the actual like what caused it. But you have to know that even if you're balancing your diet and something's triggering it, can still take you 3 to 5 days to come down from that inflammatory response, which means that no matter what you eat, you're still going to get triggered by it. So
Okay.
you have to be really aware, like post-pregnancy. I mean, your body's going to shift a lot, obviously, hormonally. What do you do? What month are you in?
I'm home with my kids.
When are you due? What
Oh,
month
when
are
am I
you
due? September 29th.
Okay, so I would say, hormonally, you shift a lot, but with your digestion, once you're kind of past that postpartum, that first or that fourth trimester, you might want to just really consciously pay attention to the if you can see a pattern. But gluten did come up. I would say like stress is always going to be a trigger for any of that spastic colon. So stress can just set it off too. But you might want to look into Candida after the fact as well, because that came up as like your microbiome being just a little out of balance, which can be very common, especially after pregnancy. You're at like most women take 6 to 7 years to get back into balance after pregnancy, like nutrient wise, you get totally siphoned from. So if you're not on it, it can take 6 to 7 years, and this is your fourth baby. So
Yeah.
no doubt your body's been through a lot, and it's just a matter of trying to make the connections. It's not enough, unfortunately, just to eat like healthy sometimes and not healthy to remedy that kind of that situation. You have to really be conscious of what the poison is and then
Mhm.
understand that cycle so that you can remove it.
Can I just say something? Spirit's telling me to, you don't pay attention in the car. Like it's pointing, like you are like sometimes distracted in the car, correct?
Well, yeah, I get distracted by my kids a lot.
Okay, so like it's, you don't want to mess around with that at the one time you're not paying attention. So you're going to remember what I'm saying, okay?
Okay.
Just because if you rear end somebody, it screws up everything or something like that. It's just something that's so silly, right? Based on not paying attention. So focus, just like they just want me to tell you that.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
I
No
appreciate that.
problem. Yeah. Jim, you're making me kill
Jim with all the
You're
effects tonight.
killing, you're
It's
killing
so
me.
much fun tonight on his own.
But you know what? If I told Miranda that I can have my good food with my junk food, and if she was right beside me, she'd be choking me to death right now, and she'd be doing everything possible.
Listen,
Yeah.
Jim, I just ate an apple instead of having some chips. Okay.
Good for
When you're
you.
pregnant, like that's like that means so many more points for you because you did that. So well
I
done.
agree. I agree. I do have one more question
Oh my God.
about, sorry, just one more.
Okay.
It's about the baby. I keep having dreams I'm going to go into labor early.
Possibly.
This is your
I
fourth.
can get
Not
an
a bad
August
thing.
date. I can get an August date too.
August? Oh, I wasn't thinking that early. I was thinking like beginning of September.
Well, it could be like August 29th. Like it's like it could be
Oh,
a
okay.
month. It's not more than that, but it
Place your
doesn't mean
bets.
it's right
Place your
either.
bets here tonight, and we'll just send anybody who wins. It's a 50-50 draw. I'm going to go September 3rd myself.
Yeah, because I got the 28th, August 28th, but I can be wrong too. So don't focus on a date. We just
Yeah.
want to keep the baby in until it's ready.
Yeah.
It'll come when it comes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Squirmy, wormy that one though.
You know what? Funny enough, I haven't felt a kick or anything like that yet. And I'm like
Buckle up because you're going to.
17 weeks now.
Mm.
And yeah.
Around like 22, 23, I bet you're gonna start getting the
It's going to be like a
Yeah,
boxing
like
match
I'm
in
still
there.
sleeping on my tummy. I'm still sleeping on
Wow.
my stomach. Yeah, like I'm barely showing.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
you're
first trimester was rough though. Like I lost like 15 pounds from getting sick. And yeah, so it's been a different pregnancy for sure. All of my pregnancies have been different from one another though. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. See this?
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Thank
It
you.
was nice to talk to
Coming
you.
on
It
last
was nice
minute.
talking to you guys too. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Miranda, thank you. I'm gonna look more into that candida.
Yes, yes, yes. After the fact,
Okay.
not during. Don't do anything right now when you're pregnant. But just
Nothing
be
now,
conscious.
but yeah. Okay, guys. Sounds
Let
good.
that go.
Thanks
I'm
so
gonna get
much.
hold of him.
Bye.
Take
Thank
care.
you. Bye. Oop. There we go. Well, that was cool.
Yeah.
Do we have questions, Paula?
We do. We also have somebody else in the waiting room. Michael is back.
Michael
Okay.
is not. Okay, let's get Michael in.
Okay.
I don't know Michael, or maybe I do. I don't know.
We're Michael Giardo. That's Giovanna.
Oh,
George.
yeah. Okay. I know who it is.
Okay.
This guy, he's got to be good now.
He's joining.
Is he?
Let's connect. There we are.
Here we are. Oh, Michael. Come on. Take it off of mute. There we are.
Hi, Michael.
Hello, hello.
What's going on, Mike?
Nothing much. Just here,
Yourself
enjoying.
busy?
Sorry?
You're keeping yourself busy?
Always try to.
What's going on with you today? What do you need to know?
What's your question?
To be honest, I really don't have a question. I'm just more here for you guys just to tell me anything that you want to tell me, other than the bad stuff. I don't want to hear any bad stuff.
We don't tell bad stuff, I don't think. We're not
Oh,
about that.
You
Is
don't
there
do
a
that.
grandfather that's passed or a father figure?
No,
Grandfather? A grandfather figure.
not really. Like my dad's dad passed away a long time ago. I never really knew him, and neither did my dad. Other than that, the
That
only
That could
other
be,
person.
it doesn't matter. That could still be him because you're attached to him, like soul attached. So
Okay.
it could be something like, did your dad have a good relationship with him?
No.
Because he's hard energy. Like I think he's trying to make amends. Like he scares the shit out of me, kind of like guy energy.
That's my dad used yeah, my dad used to tell me stories about him and how he was very rough with my dad and
Violence. Like he's
yes,
violence.
and to my grandmother, his mom, my dad's mom too. Like he was a
He like a fight fit like like fisty. Like I feel
yes, he
violent.
used to, in other words, like if to put it in words, basically, he would hit my grandmother back, like when they were together, they separated and stuff like that, back home and stuff like that. But he was a very violent man from what my dad says and stuff like
So,
that.
so what I'm seeing like is when we go to heaven, we kind of get to repent for our sins, and he's been there a while, but it shows me like tear in his eye, which makes me kind of sad. Not that you ever have to forgive, but he wants to know like that he like it must be awful to go like, and that's your legacy, and the only thing people talk about is shit about you. But
Mhm.
he wants you to know like he'll be forever
Just
trying to make it up to you.
just out of curiosity, is it because my dad's mom also remarried and he was also a violent man as well? So there's two of them there, and to be honest with you, if you're telling me that, if it feels that way, it would be the one that I met, which is the person that she remarried. Because
Okay.
I had gone back home to visit them, and I met him and stuff like that.
That feels like the one that's more like attached to you, and he wants to know like he's sorry, and he'll forever try to make amends to you because his heart feels heavy. Like I'm sure you can't make peace with that, but it's nice to know that they have to repent for their sins.
I mean, not. I feel like it would be more so for my dad, if anything. He'd feel like, feel sorry for him. Because me and my grandfather, we never really spoke or anything like that. We were really never close in any type of way. I only met him the one time when I went back to visit
But it's
them.
okay. Sometimes they want to come through just to like make amends, no matter how close or not. Now, did you just come into some money?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean,
What do we?
not really come into it. I mean, I'm a collector basically, so I sell a bunch of my stuff that are like signed by celebrities and stuff like that, and basically money was given to me because I sold it to someone. Basically, that's pretty much how it is.
Good. I
Okay.
like that. I think more of that to come. Like I think you've got some pretty good stuff, and you
What
just
if
have to find a buyer, right?
Yeah, I found recently a buyer that was good to me with what he wanted to buy and stuff like that. So
Cool.
you got a lot of new things happening to you in this year? What's your birthday?
my birthday passed. It was in February 27th.
What
Almost a
year?
leap year, baby. 85. Yeah.
So a transition for your opportunity for your valuables, you have to be careful of someone who has like wears glasses indoors, something like that, like sunglasses. He's an asshole. So just watch out for this guy. You're gonna meet him in the next couple of months. Watch out for this dude.
Okay.
And because he'll play a game. It's just it's almost this is what he does for a living.
Okay.
And it has something to do with trading of a car or a painting.
Car. Okay.
All right. And you have to
Okay.
be very careful on that. Your health is good to me. You internalize a lot of stuff and you harbor too much of your anxiety and you hold on to it because you're afraid to speak to someone because you don't want to be embarrassed about your conversations sometimes with people that
Y-
you trust. You got to let some
It's
it go.
you know what? It's not even just that. I was more I was raised to keep my emotions and feelings inside.
Right.
My father was not was, but is like he's more of like you don't show emotions and feelings in front of others. You keep those
Yep.
to yourself. You have to put like a face
Right.
to be like the man or strong and stuff like that. And I've always done that. Even with my wife, I've shown a lot more emotions and stuff like that and what I'm feeling. But prior to us like getting married and stuff like that, I was always like keeping everything inside and just not showing that, that affection or that emotion.
Right. She needs to cuff you on the side of the head unless she's been doing it quite often, and that's why we're losing most of our hair right now because
Yeah, that's exactly it.
you know.
I just wanted to say, I think your health is good too, but it is showing me that your minerals are a bit off. So they're like your between zinc and copper came up. And also, I don't know if you are getting enough protein in your day. Like, what does that look like for you? Are you having enough protein in your day, do you think?
I'm pretty sure I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Like,
is anything
or maybe
specific?
well, I just say, like, are you eating protein at every meal? Like, do you have protein at every meal, even breakfast, or are you skipping that part?
No, I don't have breakfast in the morning, and if I do, it's literally a coffee and maybe a donut or a bagel. Like, it's not really.
So I would say, like, your energy levels could maybe improve, especially in the afternoon. Like, I don't know if you sync in the afternoon or you rely on caffeine or anything to lift you a bit, but protein came up and food sensitivities did come up as well. So, like, I don't know if you have any digestive challenges at times, but you probably would. Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say that it'd be good for you to swap out some of the carbs, especially the gluten ones. Like, gluten seems to come up here, and then that would also displace. So if you are digestively weak, then you're not going to absorb your minerals the way you should, and those minerals make a big difference, like, overall for your health, of course. So I would just pay attention to what's triggering, like, if it's chronic, like if you notice that it's a pattern for you, just pay attention to that, but definitely protein for breakfast. Like, do not get into a habit of having carbs for breakfast, because by 3 o'clock, blood sugars just sunk, and then it changes the
It's
sleep.
more so bloated, if anything, is what I feel.
Okay.
And I don't know, for some reason, like today, I just felt like after I had my coffee, I felt bloated. And I don't know if it's the coffee, but at first I thought it was the coffee and the sugar with the milk that I used to have. And then I took the sugar and the milk completely out. And then I just started drinking black coffee. But now recently I feel like I'm bloated after I drink coffee.
So you're having coffee on an empty stomach in the morning?
Yes.
Okay, so that's it. So what you want to do is start your day with protein, and then after you eat, you want to have coffee just after that. And I know for most people, they're like, how can you, like, I need my morning coffee, but just test it out, like, make it an experiment for you and just pay attention to how your body feels, because that's all you can do is just try something, like, switch it up and then pay attention. But I would say that you're going to notice a big difference in your energy, and you probably, I don't know if you're sleeping, like, do you get disrupted at nighttime? Sleep patterns are off a little bit?
To be honest with you, no. I feel like I sleep perfectly fine, unless I don't realize when I wake up or I'm like disrupted in my sleep. But I feel like
Wake up rested?
Sorry?
Wake up rested?
Wake up rested?
Yeah.
No, never. I never feel like I've rested, but
That's right.
I always feel exhausted, to be honest with you. But mind you, I
Right.
go to bed late as well too. Like, there are times where we go to bed at 12 or 1 in the morning. And the worst thing is that we're literally sitting on the couch just endlessly scrolling sometimes. Like, it's
Listen,
those kinds of things, right?
all three of us can kick your ass, and all of those things could change.
Oh, for sure.
Well,
For sure.
I would just say, like, the small tweaks are, if you can, 10 to 5 is ideal for restorative sleep. Not everybody can get into bed at 10 o'clock, but if you start your day with protein and you move the coffee a little bit, you're going to notice that it's going to change the energy in your day, which is going to change your sleep cycle, and it's going to change your energy. But the thing is, when you have food sensitivities, it's creating inflammation and it's stealing your nutrients. That's why you feel constantly energetically, like, starved, basically, when you wake up in the morning. So try to just shift things up. Watch for gluten. I think the gluten is a problem for you.
Okay.
Do you have
Thank
something
you,
wrong
Michael.
with your foot? Like your right foot?
Not wrong. I mean, yesterday and today, while I was sitting at my desk, whenever I would get up, my left foot, like my ankle,
Yeah.
would start hurting when I would walk.
So
But
weird.
it's strange because it would only hurt while I was sitting at my desk. Because when I went into the lunchroom and I sat down, we sit for an hour, we have an hour lunch, and I would get up, I was completely fine. But I actually did mention that to my coworkers today as well, that my foot was hurting when I would walk, when I would get up off my desk.
I'm backwards with you with the left and the right, but I can see it's annoying. I don't know what that is, but it's annoying.
It is like and I'm sitting normally, and my foot's just like planted on the floor, and I'll get up and I'll just have like sharp pains in my ankle.
Oh, it's interesting. It's like feels like circulatory.
I feel like I do have a problem with my blood circulation and stuff like that. Because there were times like way back when I would go to sleep and my left hand would fall asleep and I would get that tingling feeling
Pins and needles,
while I
right?
would sleep, and I would wake up in the middle of the night in pain.
Carpal tunnel.
Yes, I also do have that.
That's all
I was
that.
actually supposed to get operated at one point for it, and when I went to go get operated and get like a last checkup, the pain was completely gone.
Interesting.
Which I feel like a lot of that stuff always happens whenever I feel like I'm in pain, and I'll go get checked out. They're like, okay, we're gonna do this, this, and this, and then I'll go for like a final checkup just to make sure everything's good to go. Everything's completely gone. Like it doesn't hurt and never comes back.
I think a lot of the times we get those warnings and it's because you have to pay attention to something. And then once you pay attention to it and you bring awareness to it, it can change, right? The body's getting your attention, but I do think you need to get to the root, right? Root circulation issues or any type of inflammation that's manifesting in a weak spot for you is just coming from a place of inflammation. And that means like what you're eating, how you're sleeping, what your thoughts are, how you're expressing yourself. Energetically, if you're starting to now express more emotions, you're not carrying all that energy in your body, and that's really beneficial for you overall too.
And listen to your wife, because this is the last thing we need to tell you. Take her fucking dancing. God damn you, man. Take her out.
Is there a dancing emoji I can put on the
Ask me.
reactions right now? Let's see.
Yeah, you need that.
Jim will
I
find
don't-
it.
I don't dance. Sorry, that's
Well,
my,
it doesn't matter. You have to be able to take that woman and just give her some
Dance.
fun. Okay.
um.
Thank you.
I sorry, I have one thing. I kind of came in here hoping to hear from someone or at least get
Okay.
acknowledged by someone, and I don't want to say who because I rather it come through on its own if it is not real, but like to actually feel like it they acknowledge or they know that I
The
am
female?
Yes.
Female?
Yeah.
Is she younger than her years? Like she passed younger than she should have?
Yes.
Okay. Did she have like short, like shoulder length hair?
Yeah.
Like not this color hair, but a little blondie, like a brown, like light brown?
Yeah, it's kind of like your hair color, to be honest with you.
Yeah. She's
But it's
nice,
not like down to you, but it would be shorter. Yeah.
shorter, but she did her hair nice because her hair's really nice right
She
now.
always used to do. Yeah.
Like you should see it. She's beautiful. She's very fond of you. She has nice rings too. Very nice rings. She wants to grab your face. How is she related to you? She just wants to love you. Like she's your girl. You're like special to her.
She's my grandmother.
Yeah, she's just like this. She wants to grab your face and hold your face. She's just lovely. She loved her hands. Like even when she was older, her hands are beautiful with the rings.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's always dressed nice, this lady. She's beautiful.
She always, yeah, she would
Did she
always
have a
dress
nickname?
nice.
Did she call you something?
I'm sorry?
Call you something or have a nickname for you?
Yes, of course,
Yeah,
yeah.
'cause she's I can't hear it quite, but I can hear her calling it to you. She's like she was a good cook. I can smell the cooking. Like she liked to cook and have you eat. And she's like remember those little wafer cookies with the pink in them?
Yeah.
Those are yours, right? She liked to get those for you, or they're shitty cookies that she had and she gave them to you.
I'm trying to remember if she did, but I can't remember that. I know she
But she
used to.
liked to give you stuff, like to spoil you, right?
Oh,
Like
for
she
sure,
would-
yeah, because I was I was the first, right? From my mom, that's my mom's mom, and I was the first. So
She
yeah,
used
she
to
would always
spend,
spoil me. She would
but you
always,
used to hold your hand and she used to talk to you. You used to spend a lot of time with her. She always appreciated that because you're a good listener and you're a good boy. She said you always did what she told you. You're a good boy.
I mean, sometimes I did. There were times where I would act up, but yes.
She never yelled at you. Like if she did, she wouldn't be, you'd get a pass. Do you have a brother?
No.
Who's
From
the
what
other?
from
Sorry,
what
go
my
ahead.
parents tell me, I should have been the second born. My parents had a miscarriage
So
before me
you-
or after me. It was either before me or after me, to be honest with you. I can't remember, but it
It
was
was
like
after,
early
I
in the
think it was after
pregnancy.
you, and it's a boy. So you have a brother. So he's with your grandma.
Would it be somebody else, just out of curiosity?
I don't know. Ask Jim, what do you think? I think it's a brother.
Brother of some sort. It's a
Brother.
connection that's with you from another past life. There's a lot of expectations that you put on yourself that he would have helped you with. He would have shared a lot of different things. He makes you emotional when you don't want to be emotional and you get caught up in it. And then you try and protect everybody. You become this like giant house of I'll make sure that everybody is safe. Like, you're trying to be the gentle giant for a lot of different things. And emotionally, he wants you to correct yourself and stop being your own worst enemy.
Did your grandmother used to throw her hands up and go, oh, like that kind of thing?
There were times, yeah, she would,
Because she's
yeah.
doing that right now because she's so happy she just wants to grab your face. Like,
I do remember her doing that though, to be honest with you.
yeah, I know. She's like, oh, like it's just like so funny. Like she loved people. She loved you guys around her.
We're
She
going
just
to
like,
end this now.
okay, do we time?
Okay.
I
Yeah.
wanted to do this, and I wanted to send her the finger, but I couldn't find one, and it was
Okay.
Michael, you should
Yes.
contact us and start thinking about what you want to do for you, or anyone else. But you have a ton of triggers that you need to work on. You have a beautiful partner that will take care of you for the rest of your life, and you need to learn to calm down about it. Stop worrying about us, okay? Stop worrying about them. You've got them. You've got their back. They've got you too.
Okay.
You've done your duty.
Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. Take care. Thank you very much for
You
coming.
too. You guys take
Thanks
care.
so
Thank you.
much.
Bye.
All right. Hey, Paula,
Yes.
next time, just like, can we mute Linda at all?
Oh my God.
It's funny that you say that, Jim, because it's like you're like, guys, stop talking, and then you start talking again.
I just had to join in. I don't want to feel like left out.
His grandmother was so excited all of a sudden. She would have taken an hour to talk to him.
Oh,
No.
that's amazing.
You can't stop a Nona.
Can't stop that. No, stop the flow.
Yeah.
Um,
I have one more person in the waiting room.
let's take that person.
Okay, this is Jennifer.
Jennifer, I'm gonna set a timer. Ta-da. Jenny M. I like the way they go with the I on that one. And she stopped herself. Jenny, take it off on mute. There she is.
Wow.
You may know her by any chance.
Hey there. What did you say, Jim? Good. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Good. Nice to see you in
Nice
this
to see
venue.
you. You notice that we got the crazy crew out here, so we're always doing something.
Yes. Do you notice
Janet-
you all have blue pictures behind you? I've
We
often
do.
seen that. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
It's a theme.
Yeah.
What are we looking for in a birth date is nice.
A birth date, so January 30th, 1971. So Aquarius.
Aquarius. Oh, wow. Is there anything specific that you are looking for? I can't, I want to add to stuff, but I'm working with you right now. So
You can add stuff, Jim.
yeah.
Yeah. I actually did have a question. I'm
Please.
wondering with Miranda, and I mean Linda as well, there's so many things to delve into. But I'm just wondering about my health situation, if you had any tidbits of information on how I'm doing, because I'm working so hard at
Okay.
many things right now. And
Okay.
I just want some validation, perhaps.
So what's coming up is, well, first of all, what's your hydration status like? Like, how is your water consumption, or just actually hydration, do you think?
So I'm not great at taking in water, but I definitely take in electrolytes often.
In what form do you take it? Like how are you
A
taking
powder, a powder in my drink. Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
So are you drinking a lot of caffeine?
Just once, twice a day, I would say.
So just be careful, because the caffeine will offset the hydration if you're not consuming enough, right? Because it's robbing hydration from your body the more you're consuming. What's coming up at the base is hormonal imbalance. So I don't know if that's something you've been working on. That's part of what the direction is.
Coffee, yes, Jim. Yes, that's something that I'm working on as well.
Okay,
I
so
found a few things.
And so I would say chromium is important for you. Are you having cravings for specific things? Is that like part of the perpetual thing that's coming up?
No, not right now. Just a lot of hunger.
Okay.
I'm also doing a weight loss program, so
Just
so
be
that's
careful if you're doing weight loss, that you're not starving yourself of anything. So
Mhm.
like the fats come up. So do you think you're focusing on the fats enough? Maybe
Yes.
you're not getting enough healthy fats.
I
are
would
focusing
am
on the
trying
healthy
to.
fats?
Yes, I am very much so.
Good, because at the base, if hormonal imbalance is part of it, then you have to make sure your omega-3 ratio is important
Oh,
there.
yes.
Also, your lungs. Have you had issues with your lungs in the last little while? Or
Just today, because I did a very hard workout and I almost was sick. It was that hard. So my lungs were so I feel like my voice is affected by it right now as well.
yeah, so lungs came up actually almost first. So just right now,
Wow.
if you notice that it is a problem, like just be careful. You have to remember with exercise is that your body doesn't recognize good stress or bad stress. So if you
Yes.
push your body to the max, it's now in recovery mode and cortisol is going to be at its highest. And if you're trying to balance your hormones, you don't want to skyrocket your cortisol to a place of like total chaos. You want to try to keep it even. So you want to do a combination of like intense, but also more slower movement, yoga, that kind of stuff. And that will help that's like the more restorative side of it. And that's going to help balance your hormones too. So if you're pushing yourself and like really driving that exercise and you're on a weight loss protocol, my only concern would be that hormonal imbalance might be delayed, or like that hormonal balance would be delayed, if that makes sense.
It does. It totally does. So I'm a health coach, and something that I study often is what we're talking about right now. But finding my balance is always something that you just don't know until you test, right? You just don't guess, test at things. So what I'm doing is my regime is I go to bed at 8 o'clock at night. This is like late for me. I'm not drinking at all. Alcohol, that is. Probably should drink more water. So I'm trying some different things too.
And so do you feel like you're getting, I would just say for hormonal balance, protein, I don't say this enough, but protein is so key. So make sure you're getting enough protein every meal. And gluten came up for you too. It seems like everybody has a bit of a gluten thing right now, but for the most part, but protein would be one I would just make sure to stabilize as much during the day, especially if you're excessively working out, just to make sure that you're
just have
balanced.
one little thing I worry about. There's a bit of swelling on your left shoulder of some sort, and I don't know.
Stage right or stage left?
Yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy?
Right, like it's
your left.
my left one.
Yeah, there's something that's a little bit on the gray side. Like I don't know, like it's fighting joints or something. I don't know exactly what it is, Jen, but it's there. So just maybe take it easy on the weights, the upper body weights for a little bit.
Yeah, because I feel like you have inflammation and it's just like muscle recovery. It's on top.
Yeah.
So you're going to feel like your workout a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of hard stuff, but it feels good. Today was only like 7 minutes. So sometimes when it's quick like that. But I was actually going to ask as well. I have something called hemochromatosis as well. And so I'm wondering if that comes up for you as.
I don't know what that is. What is that? If you
So
don't
it's
mind.
iron overload.
Okay.
So I have 2 SNPs from my parents that gave me this iron overload, and what it causes is actually non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So once and the cure for it is bloodletting. So I'm wondering if it's time to start bloodletting. Isn't that disgusting?
Somebody doing that, and they felt so much better afterwards. Like
liver, it came up, did it?
Yeah.
So it concerns me. Yeah.
Liver. I mean, then you really have to be conscious of, and stress as well, right? So are you under a lot of stress right now?
No, I'm trying to not be, but no.
Okay.
I don't know. It's hard to say because it's always there.
So the thyroid and stress came up with the liver. So I would just say, like, if you're, I don't know if you've had like in your did you do hormonal testing to make sure that everything's functioning the way
I'm
it's
going
supposed?
Thursday.
Oh, great. Okay. So that makes sense. So make sure that they test your thyroid. But the liver, right. So the liver never wants to be pushed too hard. So if this is something that you need to be conscious of, not to ever stress it out too much, because it's your major filtration organ. And if you intuitively get the sign that you should start bloodletting, then maybe that's kind of your answer already.
Okay, good. Yeah.
But I do think that you have to make sure you take every precaution, and this is like liver detox season. So it is the time you want to, and it's good that you're not drinking. I would say, again, exercise. Most of us don't realize that like pushing too far, the intensity of it is actually just not, it's kind of like you want to get to a point where it feels like you're moving, but you don't push it to the point where you feel like you're going to throw up or like it's too much in your lungs or whatever it is. It's like just a little bit back.
That was just very unique for today, I would say. But
Okay,
yes, I hear you for sure. Yeah.
Well, Jenny, thank you. I see this week or next week.
We don't have his time on the schedule.
What?
I know I have to do it, but I feel like it's my last one, so I have to make it a good one.
Oh my God, that's what that is. Now I know what's going on. Okay.
Yes.
Have a gun.
And I was going to say, is it okay to ask Linda something too?
Sure. Yep.
Linda, do you see anybody around me at all? Anybody that?
Who's the lady with the curly hair? Like, is it a grandmother, like an elderly lady, or an aunt?
Possibly my grandmother.
Grandmother. I get grandmother first, and I feel like she had earrings. Like, she was nice. She was dressed nicely.
Yes.
She wore glasses. She was like quiet, but lovely. She's around you. She throws you dimes. I know that's cheesy, but they do throw you dimes all the time, and she's around a ton. There's also a father figure, a grandfather figure too.
My father, do you think?
Yeah. And did he have like dressed nicely? Your father? Did he wear suits? His hair's done. His shoes are all shined. He's very put together, very nicely. But he's a very stoic kind of man. He's a very lovely man.
That must be my grandfather then, because my father was just a jovial man with barely any hair left. And
no, this is the grandfather then, because he's very put together, like he's like ready for church or something.
Okay.
The grandfather. Was your father shorter?
I think we're all hobbits.
Because your father is there too. Your dad had a very good sense of, he feels jolly.
He is very jolly. Yes.
Very jolly. He told like dad jokes.
Yes, very much.
That weren't that funny, but he thought they were fabulous. But he's a very nice man. He's very like proud of you.
Okay.
He's very encouraging for what you're doing now, and he tells you to keep going. Sometimes in the past you've given up. You get started, you get momentum, and then you get something distracts you. He goes, "Don't give up this time."
Okay. Give up what though?
Don't give up your health regimen.
Oh, my health regimen.
Like, he's very proud of you for what you're doing to get your health better.
Is that right? Wow.
So he wants you to keep going, because he said he wasn't the healthiest.
Yeah, he died of cirrhosis.
So he wants you to keep going and doing what you're doing and look into the liver, he said, right?
Yeah.
I'm picking up a lot of stars around you now. So that's probably his family taking care of your dad and taking care of you at the same time. You've always had good people around you, Jen, always.
Yeah, really good people.
Yeah, that's lovely.
That's important. Okay, watch this.
I got the stop. Oh, darn it. I could talk to you forever. Thank you so much, guys.
You're very welcome. It was nice talking to you.
Yes.
We'll see you again soon, right?
See you soon. Okay.
All right.
Thank
you.
Wow, guys, it's 10:03 and there's a lot of questions now. You guys got a few minutes for questions?
Sure. I can do a couple. Sure.
Hey, Miranda?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. Can we see your nails?
Huh? Yeah, I got my nails done today.
Nails.
Yeah.
Yeah. 10 moons.
What did you say?
10 moons.
What did you say?
Wait, they look. Is it blue?
They're blue actually. It's a light blue, but you can't tell because of the screen, but it does look white from there. You're right. Yeah.
Beauty, eh? Okay, that's nice. Paula. Hello.
Who?
I'm looking at like a ton of questions. Hey, Joan Funk, how are you? Marilyn, I'm not that hilarious because these two girls are funnier than I am, and Paula knows how to abuse me. So, I'm putting up with it, and that's okay. Douglas Tardif, he's got a lot to share one day. He's a super nice person. Mario has his own paranormal group. He's an investigator. I can see all his questions are in there, but those are like long, drawn out questions, so you can't do that. Christine Johnson. Here's
Kirsten.
something that we can give her. What's that, Paula?
It's Kirsten Johnson. Just so she's listening.
I've done that before, haven't I, Kirsten?
I don't know.
No, she's gonna like throw me off the boat next time I see her.
Tim, get it together. Come on.
You want to read the question, Paula?
No, you can.
Okay. If possible, I would greatly appreciate any advice on how to protect myself from toxic co-workers. And try in the mirror method and with little success, but does not work. Thanks in advance. Mirrors do work. Linda, tell her how mirrors work. If you really have idiots around you, we place those mirrors strategically to protect ourselves, and all that goes back to them. I don't think that Kirsten has the patience to wait sometimes, but these people, if you keep that mirror, they're going to leave you alone.
It's like a shield. I can just like even if I go to the grocery store, I put like a white egg shield around me. But when people are wishing ill will, like it sounds like there's backstabbing or gossip or shit at the workplace. So if it's like the same kind of premise is you just imagine like a mirror, like a mercury bubble, like there's no seams. So anything that comes at you will immediately refract back to them. And it's not like we're wishing ill. If you put out bad things come back. So it's just like protection, but it will not stick to you. So it's a very powerful thing. I've had to learn that in the last few years because I have had things come at me, but it's very effective.
Yeah, didn't you just last week get up off your keister and go get rid of something a couple of weeks ago while we were going live?
Yep, there was something in my room. So I protected my room extra hard this week. Just it was random because I don't allow that kind of stuff in, but it's just interesting, right?
Which is good. I know it's nice. So
Hope that helps.
yes, me too. Where are we now? No. Good evening, all. That's Dougie. Carlos, send us some music. We didn't send him some information. He's a California dude that wants us to talk to a whole bunch of people on his side of the world. Is there anything else that anybody wants to say last minute? No?
Us or question?
Question.
Us?
I think we're done. We had a lot of people tonight.
Yeah, it was fun.
Nice. Yeah.
You know, and I enjoyed my time with Miranda today.
I mean, I kind of did too, Jim. So thanks.
It was a lot of fun.
And Linda, she's always a superstar.
You know, Linda is our mediator, but she's good at it.
I can be. I didn't really have to step in too much. But
No.
Miranda's in a pole position of bossing your ass around this week, so
Yeah.
you let that happen.
Yeah.
In the power seat now, Jim.
Well, you know what? I have a little bit more energy in just the few days that I have been working on myself. Again, it's over 2 weeks, pretty well with no milk, and that has made a big difference for
Your
me.
eyes are brighter. Your eyes are clearer, just so you know.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And you slept.
I
I
did.
mean, come on.
6 hours was just like, whoa, that was heaven. That was heaven. You know,
New man.
I am new guy. I'm the new guy.
New fresh energy.
Yep. Yep.
Waiting for another 2 weeks. Wait to see what happens in 2 weeks from now. It's gonna be good stuff.
We're gonna fly. Look at that. Don't give me buttons because that's all I'm gonna do now. Like, take them away from me.
Okay.
What the hell? You know, I'm a kid in a can.
Yep.
The three of us, I think I've had a great time, by the way. I did.
Yeah, it was fun.
And I think we said we're gonna soon try to do a live remote from another location, right?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
also in 2 weeks' time, I don't know what we're going to talk about, but we're going to be out of this April intensity. So yay for May new beginnings. I think it's going to be a good month, actually, guys.
You know what?
I hope.
You know what I would like to have? Couples come on and talk to us.
That would be so fun. That would
Should
be
just do
so
a couple.
fun.
Just get
We missed
some couples in there and just like, you know.
No,
Oh,
we lost our producer.
Yep.
Paula's like, sick, guys. I am tired.
Paula's like, bye.
Paula's gonna go. Like, I bet you she's freaking right now. Oh, Paula. I don't know. You know, sometimes they have power outages in that beautiful city of hers.
In the K-Town.
I want to say thank you to everybody for joining in on the stuff. All of you on the live chat. My God, you guys were amazing. Thank you so much for having a lot of fun.
Thanks,
Keep it
guys.
this way. We keep it light. We have fun. We've given a lot of information out. We continue to do so. And if they need to book you, Linda, what happens and where do they go?
I give my website. I think it's on the link at the end of the show, but it's infinitereikihealing.com.
Thank you. Miss Miranda, just
Yes.
to, like, I starve every day because of you, but I'm healthy. So
Come on, you eat more now than you did before. You know it.
I'm feeling great because of you, and I love you for it. So thank you.
Yeah.
How do we get a hold of you?
Superbodywisdom.com. You can go there, or you can follow me on Instagram, Miranda Melisani, as well.
We like you.
Paula lost her
like it.
internet. She texted.
She did?
Oh,
She did.
okay, Paula. Still retrograde. And it's 10:10. We should end in 10:10 because that's a good sign for the day.
It
It
is.
sure is.
10:10.
So we are literally going to have to hang this up
Okay.
for it to end. So I can probably do it on my end because it is, and this is just typical Mercury in retrograde. Thank you both so very much. Let's
Thank you, Jim. Thanks,
go
Miranda.
live again on Instagram on Sunday or Monday. And I love you both so very much. Thank you very much for being this and us.
Bye, guys.